Hello YouTube, it's Hailcon117 here, just with a quick review on the Necron codex. It's not a full review, as normally is you'll see hundreds of them on YouTube and the internet. This is just my personal take on the codex, looking at some of the rule changes, the warlord traits, might touch over some of the objective cards, the powers of the Catan, or Satan, however you want to pronounce it, and obviously the units as well. So I'm not going to go too much into the fluff to do with Necrons. I'll breeze past the majority of that, but what I do want to show you is just obviously there's the front cover. Very nice front cover. Thoroughly enjoying the artwork on there. And inside we've got a famous one from Damnos. So there's quite a lot of nice artwork. I'm not going to show you every single page, just a couple of bits and bobs. So it's quite a nice one. It's the new Lord there. A couple of bits and bobs artwork wise. So as you can see, I'm just going to flick through the majority of this. Some markings, every unit there and then. Some of the different dynasties, some really nice colour schemes. I'm unsure on this one. It's okay. There's a couple of changes I would do, but it's all right. It's quite nice. I was never really sold on this one, but now I'm looking at different units, especially when you look at the likes of the Treyarch Stalker here. I think it looks really nice, but I've just gone for the classic machine. Look, there's the new Mefrit Dynasty colour schemes there. Just loads of different artwork. So on this page, we've got the Decurion. Now, the Decurion is a new way of organising a Necron force. It's essentially a formation for the whole army. Now, I'll not go too far into it, but basically there is some buffs and some benefits you can get. So, you have to start first of all with a Reclamation Legion. Now, I'll not go into every single unit, but the Reclamation Legion is you have to have at least one Overlord, which can also be a character as well. So, can command Barge, you can have Trazian the Infinite, and so on. Imitate the Stormlord, he is actually a Lord of War, so he doesn't come underneath that. You've got to have 0 to 2 units, so you don't have to take them, but if you can take Lich Guard if you want. Compulsory, you have to take at least 1 unit of Immortals, excuse me, up to a maximum of 4. Warriors, Necron Warriors, you have to have at least 2, and you can take a maximum of 8. Monoliths, you can take a maximum of 3 or none. And finally, a unit of Tomb Blades, which is why a lot of people you'll see are getting Tomb Blades, so they can do that. So that's how you start it. So that's the basic core. So if you wanted to, you could have no monoliths in that force, and no Lich Guard, and you would still be abiding by the Decurion. And on top of that, you can then, it must include at least 1 core choice, and then for every one you can have between 1 and 10 auxiliary choices. And the auxiliary choices, you've got all these underneath, so going all the way along here, you've got things like the Annihilation Nexus and Living Tomb and all this other kind of stuff. I'm not going to go into all of them, but the benefits that you get from the Decurion is you get the Ever Living. Now, what that in the Decurion detachment, I might as well read it from the book, to be honest. It says, models in this detachment with the Reanimation Protocol special rule, pretty much everything, apart from your kind of tech stuff, receive a +1 bonus to Reanimation Protocol, so that's great. So all your reanimation rolls, you're getting 4+ instead of the 5. And also, the Living Metal ignores the effects of Crew Stunned and Crew Shaken, but you still lose the whole point. That's the command benefits that you can get for that. There's a couple of other things as well, where you get move through cover. I think could be a little bit. To be honest, I haven't actually fully looked into the Decurion because it's not really how I'm going to be organising my force. So apologies if I'm wrong on any of this information, but I've literally just skimmed over it. But it's just a new way you can do it. You can still follow the Combined Arms detachment like normal. Still, I know that with the Decurion detachment, you do lose the objective secured for your troops, so that's something there to watch out for. Right, we're getting to the war gear section, and obviously all the units. So I'll come back to this in a second. So there's a lot of stuff that's changed, a lot of stuff upgrades wise. Main ones you have is the ranged weapons, melee weapons, the Techno Arcana. That's mainly for your Cryptex and your Overlord upgrades, and obviously you have the artifacts of the Aeons, or Aeons, however you want to pronounce that. So we're moving to HQ. So, excuse me, in my force, I have personally 2 Overlords. Let's adjust the camera a little bit there so you can see the picture a little bit better. So, the Overlords, good unit, 80 points base, and you've also got, where are we at, the weapon skill and the ballistic skill went up by 1, sorry, so ballistic, weapon skill, ballistic skill 5, strength, toughness 5, wounds 3, so it's still pretty decent. And obviously you can take melee weapons, ranged weapons, Techno Arcana and artifacts of Aeons, and obviously with reanimation protocols. Good unit, solid unit, good to have. In my force, I think I'm going to actually start to just use 1. Don't know whether I'm going to stick the Catacomb Command Barge as them. I'll come to that in a moment, and I'll tell you why. Then next you've got the Lord, which is only 50 points. They've actually improved the Lord as well. His weapon skill and ballistic skill 4, still good, nothing to be sniffed at. Toughness 5, strength 5, which is great. They have 2 wounds, so it's gone up by 1 wound. 3+ armor as well, same as the Overlord. So for only 40 points reduction, really, you're getting 30 points reduction. You're losing a wound and you're losing the weapon skill and ballistic skill 5. But he's still quite good, he's still good. I don't use a Lord, however, I did buy this model years ago when it was classed as an Overlord. So I could use him as a Lord if I want. So that's the Lord. Now, the new, I do have one of these. It hasn't featured in very many battle reports, but a Cryptex. The Cryptex have totally changed. They're no longer part of like how you used to use the Royal Court. These are HQ on their own. There is ways you can put them in a Royal Court, but that's part of the Decurion detachments and formations. And I'm not really going into that, so... Like I said, it's not a full codex review. I'm not going over every single little detail. Just going over how my views. So Cryptex, 65 points, so they're a little bit more than a Lord, but they are mint. They are great. So you're getting a weapon skill, ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 4. They have 2 wounds, initiative 2, Necrons, 1 attack, leadership 10, save 4+. Not bad. 4+ save, reanimation protocols, of course. Now this is why I'm taking them. Part of the rules is, if you're wondering as well why I'm not showing full pictures, it's just in case of copyright. I don't want to show every part of the page up close. So it's just for them reasons, and I don't want to be boring you by showing lots of words on the screen. So the Cryptex get their own little rule called Technomancer, and what it does is this model and all models with the reanimation protocol special in his unit receive a +1 bonus to reanimation protocol rolls. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Stick him in a squad of 20 warriors, and you're laughing. 20 warriors plus himself, walking up the board with 4+ reanimations. You're gonna annoy the crap out of your opponent. Really, really good. I'm going to be using the Cryptex as one of my HQ choices, and a lot of other people will. Now, there is some tricks later on you can do with the characters, which I'll come to that when I need you. Now, you may take a Chronometron. Now, Chronometron, looking on what it does, I'll just flick to the actual page where the details of all the the upgrades are. It's page 116. Now, Chronometron, he's the only guy that can take it. A model with a Chronometron and his unit have a 5+ invulnerable save against all shooting attacks. Marvellous. It's only 25 points. Well, I'm saying only 25, you know, it's not a great deal. But same again, you stick him in a squad of 20 warriors, or 10 warriors, or whatever. You give him a Chronometron, and he's then going to give everything a 5+ invulnerable save. And also a +1 bonus to the reanimation, so it's fantastic. Destroyer Lords, not really going down that route. I've heard lots of good things about them. Might try them one day. To be honest, I hate the model with a passion. On to named characters. Not going to go over any of the named characters either. I do like Big Z, as he's known, Nemazor. But I might get him at one point, but not yet. So I'm not going to cover him yet. I'm not going to bother. Vargard or Byron, however you say it. Not really interested in him. I haven't looked at him. Now these two, I have looked at them both. Now these are like the kind of the special Cryptek characters. You have Illuminor Seraz, 110 points. He's weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength and toughness all 4. He has 2 runes, initiative 2, as Necrons, not even going to bother mentioning initiative anymore. He does get 4 attacks, he's 3+ armor. Now some of the stuff he has is his Warlord trait. I'll not bother going over that, it's a standard Immortal Hubris, but I'll go over it when I cover the Warlord traits. He still has the mechanical augmentation from the last one, so at the start of the game, before you force are deployed, what you do is you nominate 1 unit of Necron warriors or immortals, and all models in the nominated unit receive an upgrade for the duration of the whole game. It can be really good because you roll a d6 on a 1 or a 2, basically the whole unit. So same again, if you choose a unit of 20 warriors, the unit's toughness is 5 on a 1 to 2. 3 to 4 is improved optics, so the unit's ballistic skill goes up to 5. And then on a 5 or 6, they get the unit's strength is 5. So looking at that, I mean, yeah, strength 5 is okay, but you don't really want to get warriors into combat. Well, they can hold their own, but it's not really the job. I would be wanting a 1 to a 4. So a toughness 5 warrior unit, 20 of them, is going to be amazing. In most cases, not going to be indestructible, but it's going to be annoying for your opponent to take down. And of course, ballistic skill 5, hitting on 2s is great. Now, the next one, and this is a couple of little tricks you can do with this guy, which I've seen a lot of people do. Orokin the Diviner. Some of you might remember Orokin from the last one, of course. He's 10 points more than the other one, Illuminor. He's 120. What he's got war gear wise, well, I'll read his stats first. His basic stats are weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength and toughness, all 4. He has 2 wounds. He has initiative 2, attacks 2, leadership 10 and 4+ save, which is okay. He does have another profile as well, which I'll go into that in a moment. His war gear, he's got a built-in phase shifter. Now, just double checking what the phase shifter, just to give you the right stuff there. It's 4+, yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, he has a phase shifter inbuilt, so he's got a 4+ armor save and a 4+ invulnerable save, and of course he has reanimation protocols as well. Independent character, of course. Now his special rules he's got is Master Chronomancer. Now what that does is all models with the reanimation protocol special rule in his unit receive a +1 bonus, so exactly the same at that point as a normal Cryptek. However, he also has he can re-roll saving throws of a 1, which is brilliant. A lot of people I've seen, and a tactic that I'm going to try, stick him in a squad of Lich Guard, 5-man squad of Lich Guard, and you give them the shields. So the shields are now a 3+ invulnerable save for the dispersion shield for Lich Guard. So you stick them in a squad of them, and then they basically tank the majority of the wounds. And obviously any ones for just saving throws, it doesn't say reanimation, just saving throws. You fail a saving throw of 1, you re-roll it. You fail that again, no problem. Then you've got reanimation protocols, which is now a 4+. He's really, really good for buffering other units, and things like Lich Guard are going to be... You're probably going to see Orokin in Lich Guard units quite a lot. If you're going down that route, of course. You know, there's nothing wrong with him putting him in a squad of 20 warriors. Certainly not. Or Immortals, or however that you want to do it. He's quite good. I'll probably try him at some point. The other rule he has is the stars are right. Now, from the previous codex, this has changed, and for the better. So you roll a d6 at the start of each turn, each friendly turn. So if the result is less than the current turn, so, you know, say if it's turn 4, you roll a 3, great. Orokin uses he uses his second profile, his empowered profile, so it's like he's hulked up. And in the old codex, you had to re-roll to see if that disappeared. Once this goes off, it's there for the rest of the game. There's a couple of things in regards to wounds as well. You know, if he lost a wound, he would have 3, but his profile changes. So his weapon skill and his ballistic skill go up to 5. His strength and toughness increase to 7, which is great. His wounds increase to 4. His initiative increases to 4, and his attacks increase to 4, which is amazing. His save doesn't. You know, he's got 4 wounds, 4+, reanimation protocols, the lot. And his weapon as well, he's got the Staff of Tomorrow, which is AP 2, and it's got an ability called Chrono Blade, and basically re-rolls all failed to hit rolls in close combat. He's brilliant. I'll certainly be trying him out at some point. Next characters, we've got Anrakian the Traveller, or however you say his name, I think that's right. He's fairly okay. Not really interested in him. Trazian the Infinite, never really looked at him, won't be including him. Catacomb Command Barge is its own HQ now. You don't buy it as an upgrade. You basically buy the Catacomb Command Barge and you get the Overlord with it, which is alright, which is quite good, 135 points. You still get your Quantum Shielding. He also has this ability called Command Wave. All friendly units, Necron units within 12 inches of it, they reroll all failed morale, pinning and fear tests, which is marvellous. It's not that bad. So yeah, you can give them upgrades as well for the Overlord, and you know, obviously change the weapon for a Tesla or Gauze. So it's quite good. Warriors, they're definitely in the Force. 130 points for just 10. Obviously you can stick them in a Ghost Arc or a Night Scythe, which is great, and reanimation protocols as well. No problem. Immortals. I haven't got any Immortals in my Force, but I certainly will be including at least one squad of 10 at one point. Maybe it's just a small squad of 5 actually. They can only take a Night Scythe as dedicated transport. Lich Guard, they've vastly improved, especially points wise. They're actually worth taking now. Now Lich Guard are 125 points for 5, which is brilliant. I haven't got my old codex at hand, but just on a rough guess, I think it's about 50 to 60 points deduction, give or take. Now the stats for them: the strength and the weapon skill, ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 5, and they got a 3+ save, attacks 2, initiative 2, leadership 10, 1 wound. The normal warrior is a war scythe. They get the reanimation protocols, and obviously you can upgrade them for 5 points a model to give them the hyperphase swords and the dispersion shield, which is what they're armed with in the picture. Now I do that, so I do that all the time. So I've got a squad of 5, and I upgrade them, and I give them the shield. So it's 25 points, 5 more, so 150 points. You know, stick Orokin in there as well, and they'll do massive amounts of damage. Now the dispersion shields give give them a 3+ invulnerable now. It's upgraded. They can no longer reflect the shots back, but I'm quite happy at that. You know, 3+ invulnerable save. So 3+ armor save, 3+ invulnerable save. Stick a crypt tech with them, or even better, stick Oricon with them. 4+ reanimation, and they can re-roll their armor saves. Their failed saving throws of 1s. Death marks. Nothing really much changed with death marks. Still take Night Sight, I think still Deep Strike. The only slight change is that when they arrive from Deep Strike, all the shooting attacks made by the death marks in just that turn, the wound, regardless of toughness on a 2+. So they no longer get the mark ability, but I think that is fab. You Deep Strike them in at any point. You know, that Wraith Knight or that Riptide, you know, high toughness targets, that's what you want to be going for. You're winning them on 2s. And obviously this rapid fire snipers as well, so if you get some rending hits in there, you're going to be doing damage. Flayed ones, I've seen a few people go on about flayed ones. Don't like the models, probably never take them. I can see the benefits of having them, but it's not the direction that I want to go in my force. Treyarch Praetorians, love the look of the models. Still not 100% on these guys. I'll wait to pass judgment on them. They do look nice. You can give them upgrades and all sorts. Treyarch Stalkers, love the look of the model. You might see one in the force at some point. I'm not 100% on these. I can definitely see the benefits of them. Probably try them at some point. Still got quantum shielding as well, which is quite good. Right. The Catans, or Satans, or however you say it. I'll read through a little bit in regards to the Nightbringer, because I might include a Catan in my force. And if it was going to be one, it would be this guy. The reasons why is in his rules, really. So his stat line is weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness 7. He's got 4 wounds, got initiative 4, attacks 4, leadership 10, and a 4+ save. Pretty tough. War gear wise, he's got the powers of the Catan, which I'll go over. He's Eternal Warrior, he's Champions in Death, Fearless and Fleshbane. Now, both the Catans, they get the immune to natural law, so they basically just ignore. They automatically pass dangerous terrain tests. Obviously, if they land on top, but it's, you know, they still need to do something there. They can't end its move on top of other models or anything like that. They get the Necrodermis ability, so they've got a 4+ invulnerable save. This is quite a good one actually, because well, I'll read through it. So, they've got a 4+ invulnerable save. And if it's ever reduced to no wounds, before removing the model, each nearby unit, friend or foe, so just be careful because friend as well, they suffer a strength 4, for AP 1 hit for each model it has within D6 of this model. So you get him in combat, fair enough, if he dies at any point, he's going to deal some damage as he goes. It's quite good. The unique ability to the Nightbringer. This is why I might consider taking him. He gets the powers of the Satan anyway, but he gets this as well. So he gets the Gaze of Death. So in its shooting phase, in addition to using powers of the Catan, which I'll go over later, this model can target one non-vehicle enemy unit within 12 inches to which it's got line of sight, of course. Now the unit suffers a number of wounds equal to, so you get 3 dice, 3d6, and you minus its leadership, and it's resolved in AP2 with ignores cover special rule. And what happens is if at least one unsaved wound is inflicted on that unit, the Nightbringer regains it. Amazing. So you pick a weak unit, especially against things like orcs or Nids, Eldar, prime one actually, Eldar and Dark Eldar, low toughness. You know, that strength, that AP2 hit, you're going to be dealing out, you know, even against Marines, you know, it all depends on what you're going to be doing. You're going to be getting your wounds back as well. Very good. Not 100% on him yet. I'll probably get the model because I do like the model. But yeah, probably see him on the battlefield at some point. The Deceiver, the other Catan model you can get. I like the model. His rules are okay. The Grand Illusion power that he's got, yeah, it's okay, but no, I'm not going to go over that. Night Sights. Night Sights went up in points, so they're now 130. Still have the Twin-Link Tesla Destructors. They've also got Invasion Beams, so what happens is if you've got a unit in, you know, if you haven't moved any more than 36 in the movement phase when you zoom in, I don't even know why they put that in, because I'm pretty sure that you can only go up to 36. You can disembark, pretty much. What happens is if it's moved 24 inches or more, they can still disembark straight away, but they'll be firing snapfire. So that's quite good, quite useful. You can zoom across and drop units off. Do it for combat units, you know, 36 inches, zoom across, drop your, you know, say, drop your Lich Guard off. Yeah, they don't care about snapfire. They've got no firing weapons, which is good. Transport 15 models. Excellent, really good transport, love it. Ballistic skill 4. What I was quite hoping for, that there would have been the option to give Night Sights upgrades, and I was quite hoping that you'd be able to pay the upgrades and give it quantum shielding just to make it a little bit more survivable. But it's not bad. Still got 3 hull points, armor 11, so it's quite good. Next one was the Ghost Ark. Ghost Arks, 105 points. I'm pretty sure they were 115 earlier, so they came down. They still have the Gauze Flare Arrays, which are the salvo weapons now, which is not bad. Still get the Repair Barge, it's exactly the same. So anything, you know, any Necron warriors that's within the range of it, within 6 inches, you know, you can roll a dice and a D3 and add that number back. Now, transport capacity, it can carry 10 models, and it can only carry Necron warriors and Necron characters with the infantry type unit. So, no putting your immortals in there, I'm afraid. Wraiths don't have any in my force. Probably get. Actually, I might get. I'll probably get them at some point. Scarabs, they're in my force. Definitely in my force. Still exactly the same. Entropic Strike has changed ever so slightly. Basically, it's exactly the same against what you do against vehicles. You used to roll, and then you used to roll a 4 to strip the armor. It doesn't do that anymore. To make it, it's actually better. It's a lot more simple. Against vehicles, what they do is on a roll of a 6, it automatically causes a glancing hit. Rather than tallying all them things up, you get a 6 in combat with these guys, and it's glanced. I mean, I've glanced Land Raiders many a time with these. And same again, against people, a 6 is an automatic wound regardless of the toughness. So it's quite good. Tomb Blades, these are the new addition to my force. I've got 6. Wanted them before anyway, wanted them before the whole Decurion thing. I've always liked the models. Finally got some. They've got reanimation protocols. Their standard equipment is Twin-Link Gauze Blasters, which is what I've left them with. So trying to keep these cheap, because these are mainly going to be for speed in the force, for them objective games, or, you know, harassing and outflanking. I wanted some speed. The jet bikes, so fair dues, they're not Eldar jet bikes, but they can still move a kind of speed. They can still turbo boost 24 inches. 54 points for 3, not bad. You can upgrade the Gauze Blasters to Tesla Carbines for free, which is quite good. You can give them all Particle Beamers for 2 points, but I didn't really go that direction. You can give them Shield Veins. Now, Shield Veins is the upgrade. You can give them a 3+ save instead of a 4+. Because as standard, they have a 4+. So, to give them Shield Veins at 2 points per model, it's a steal. I would definitely do that. Make them that a little bit more survivable. Especially if you're relying on these guys to hit your objectives or things like that, or run interference. You want to make them more survivable. And the last upgrade you can give them here is any model may take one of the following. So you can give them a Shadow Loom, which I will just double check. I'm pretty sure it's stealth. No, it's a +1 cover save. So obviously a 6+ cover save in the open. Not bad. Not how I want to go though. And the Nebula Scopes. Sorry, the Shadow Loom is 1 point a model, so that's very cheap. And a Nebula Scope, which is 2 points a model, and I've done this on all mine, ignores cover. Amazing. So you know, as a last resort, so to speak, you can take down them flyers, but it's not really what they're designed for. But yeah, ignoring the jinx, or even you can elect them if you've got nothing else to shoot at. You can elect them to fire at the flyer. He goes, yes, I'm going to jink. You ignore it. Even if you miss, you've made him jink. So you made him do the snap fires, which is good. Next, we've got destroyers. Not going to go down that. I can see the potential in them. I can see why. To be honest, as a modelist, I just don't like the models. I really don't like the models. I don't know why. I just don't like them. They are good. It's just not what I'm wanting to do. Same with heavy destroyers. Don't really like them. Spiders, they're in my force. Nothing really changed to these guys. Monstrous creatures. This can still spawn. No difference at all. You can give them particle beamers or fabricator claws, but I'd keep mine dirt cheap. I use them pretty much just for breeding. Occasionally I give them gloom prisms, which affects the denying the witch. Doom Scythe. Do like the Doom Scythe. Haven't got one yet, but you'll see one of these in my force at some point. The death ray changed slightly, well, to much dismay. Now the death ray, when I find it, death ray. Right, there we go. Death ray, 24-inch range. Not bad. It's a flyer. You can get there. If you can't get within 24 inches with using a flyer, you have problems. It's strength 10, AP 1, and it's a blast, and it also has the lance ability, which is great, marvelous. It also has twin link destructors as well. Living metal, as per standard, really good. One of these will be featuring as one of my heavy support choices, just to. And with it being an aircraft vehicle as well, it's going to be hard to hit, so it's much more survivable. Monolith, not really a big change. I never used it, but it lost the Eternity Gate ability to suck stuff in. You still have it as the war gear to transport stuff out, but you can no longer suck a unit into it. But to be honest, I never really used it. Monolith, 200 points. Not a great. A lot of people don't like them. I think they're quite good. I use them primarily as mobile terrain, and I know that sounds stupid to be paying 200 points for mobile terrain, but they can kick out some good firepower actually. You know, you've got the four on each corner. You've got the four Gauze Flux Arcs, and I've also got the Particle Whip as well. So it's quite good. Armor 14 all around. Living metal. You can deep strike it. 4 hull points. I don't see a problem with just having one. So that's still in the force. On to Annihilation Barge. Never really interested in it. A lot of people loved them. Went up in points as well, but I don't really like them. Doomsday Arcs. I can see the potential, but not for me. Going into the Transcendent Satan. It's 250 points. I definitely see his uses, but he won't be featuring my force. Just it's not the route I'm going. Lastly, on Lord of War, you've got the Tesseract Vault. You also got quite good abilities, good powers, not bad. Obelisk, which is the alternative kit that you can make from it. Now I might get one of these at some point. It's a bit of a pricey kit, but it's quite good. It's 300 points, but it has 4 Tesla spheres. Now, the Tesla spheres, the rule for these, obviously with it being a Tesla weapon, the Tesla sphere is strength 7, AP nothing, and a heavy 5 Tesla. 5. Heavy 5. And you have 4 of them. So these all fire 5 shots each. You get any 6s with the Tesla rule, and that's a lot of firepower. Imitate the Stormlord. Nah, never really looked at him. Not bothered about him, to be honest. I can see his potential. Just moving on to the formations you can do in the new codex as well. There's some pretty good ones. As I said earlier, the Reclamation Legion has the excuse me, the Reclamation Legion. If you were to just take what was mentioned in the Decurion, it's slightly different. The Reclamation Legion is it's one Overlord. It's similar to the Decurion, but you get move through cover and relentless, which is great. You lose the objective secured, but you also get an enhanced reanimation protocol. So you can re-roll reanimation protocol rolls of a 1 for the Overlord from this formation, and any units that within 12 inches of them, which is very, very nice, which is quite good. So that's one reanimation, one formation. Judicator Battalion, which is it's 1 unit of Triarch Stalkers, 2 units of Triarch Praetorians. That's quite good. Quite good. At the start of each of the control player's turn, nominate 1 enemy unit within line of sight of the Triarch Stalker from this formation. All units from this formation can re-roll fail to hit and to wound an armor penetration. That's amazing. Very, very good. Some powerful formations there. So you got the Living Tomb. Haven't really looked too much into that. Annihilation Nexus. Some quite good ones. Canoptech Harvest one, which consists of 1 unit of 1 Canoptech Spider, a unit of Wraiths, and a unit of Scarabs. They get moved through cover and relentless. But they also get this special rule here called Adaptive Subroutines. And at the start of each, start of the mutant phase, basically you choose a rule. Fleet, Shred, and one of them being reanimation protocols, which is rather good because, as you'll see through the codex, that pretty much everything with the word Canoptech in front of it doesn't have reanimation protocols. So you can start to mess around with people doing that. Doing Fleet. Shred would be amazing for the likes of Wraiths, reanimation protocols as well. Brilliant. That's one you can do. You've got the Royal Court, which I mentioned briefly before. It's a little bit different to what was in the last one. Just bulking people together. Overlords, Cryptex Lords, and that's more artwork, and that's all of your formations, apart from the ones in the Exterminator's book, but I'm not going on about that at the moment. Now, the Necron special rules, reanimation protocols for use, it's changed slightly. It's kind of like Feel No Pain. So you roll your save. If you fail your save, you roll your reanimation. If you fail reanimation, then you're dead. You can still take it for things that have instant death or double toughness, things like that. But it reduces the save. So if you've got a 4+ reanimation because of any bonuses, any weapon that would cause instant death, that you're not getting your 4+, you're getting a 5+, just to represent the powerful weapon that's just blew you to smithereens. Living Metal, pretty much the same. Couple of little changes. Warlord traits. A lot of the Warlord traits are Warlord specific, but they are quite good. So you've got Enduring Will. So your Warlord has the Eternal Warrior special rule. I've got no qualms with that. That's great. Eternal Madness. So your Warlord has the Zealot special rule. not bad. It could be useful in certain situations. Then you got number 3, which is Immortal Hubris. The Warlord and all friendly units basically reroll all failed morale, pinning, and fear tests, which not bad, but with a leadership at 10, you know, I can kind of see why they've put it in there, but it's not the greatest. Number 4, you've got Hyperlogical Strategist. Now, this one's quite useful. It's as long as your Warlord's alive, you may add or subtract a 1 from your reserve rolls, kind of like what the Eldar Autarch does, which is quite good. Means you can bring on what you need to with a little bit more control over your reserves. Excuse me. Number 5 is Implacable Conqueror. Not a bad one at all. Your Warlord and friendly units within 12 inches with the Necron's faction, they have Relentless and Crusader. It's quite good. Not bad at all. The last one is Honourable Combatant. This is pretty much for the likes of challenges. So your Warlord must always issue or accept a challenge. If he does so, he rerolls all fail to hit rolls when fighting in a challenge. And no friendly character other than Vargard O'Brien, the special character HQ, can attempt a glorious intervention in a challenge involving him. And if an enemy refuses a challenge issued by your Warlord with this Warlord trait as well, your Warlord gains a Hatred special rule for the remainder of the game. So I think that's quite good. It's forcing people to go in challenges with you. You get lucky on your Warlord traits, especially if you've got a powerful HQ. You've pumped a lot of points into a Warlord, an Overlord, and you get lucky. You want to get them into combat with this. If people are refusing your challenges, you're getting Hatred, which is amazing. So that's Warlord traits. Range weapons, I'm not going to them. To get the codex for a full, to read them all. It would take hours and hours and hours for me to take you through all them. Well, it was not essentially hours, but you get me drift. More just Necron equipment, just on about Quantum Shield and melee weapons. The upgrades you can give, and things like the shield veins and the Man Shatter Scarab. Man Shatter Scarabs has changed quite a lot. I never used it, so I'm not going to go into it. Right, the powers of the Catan. I'm not going to go into them, but it's just a new thing that was brought. Well, not new, but you basically get them on cards. For them, you can use them in the shooting phase. They can't use them on Overwatch, which you can kind of understand that. Some quite good powers, actually. You have 2 profiles. You have the Transcendent one, which you take from, you use for the Transcendent Satan, the Deceiver, and the Nightbringer. And then you have the Coalescent, which is for the one that's in the Tesseract Arc, which tends to be a bigger range and more powerful. But the normal powers are just as good. Right, your artifacts, excuse me, the artifacts you have, quite good. Not going to go into them too much, to be honest. You've got, you've got Void Reaper, which is basically like, I think it's what they've modelled the new Lord on, the one with that big scythe. I think it's supposed to be the Void Reaper. It's basically, it's a war scythe with armor bane, flesh bane, mastercrafted. That's basically all it is. It's +2 strength and AP 2, similar to a war scythe. You have some other things such as the Nightmare Shrouds, which gives you a 2+ save. Because unfortunately you can't give your Overlord a 2+ save anymore without giving them that artifact. The tactical objectives are quite good. There's 6 specific ones for Necrons. You have the Thrall of the Silent King, Dust and Ashes, Reclaim and Recapture, Age of the Machines, Slaughter the Living, and Code of Combat. I'm not going to go into them because it's a bit boring for me to read them all out to you. And obviously the profiles for all weapons there. So, and that's it for the codex itself. Just going over. Very, very good. I'm very pleased with the codex. It fits quite well. A lot of people weren't very happy with the rumours, but a lot of people always read too much into the rumourville before they actually see what's going to be happening, which I always find annoying. I always wait till till it comes out. Artwork fantastic. Units, yeah, we didn't get any new units apart from the new Lord. I mean, he is a nice model. It would have been nice to get a couple of a newer box for the Necron warriors, but they're still quite good. Last things really is just my force. It's not finished painted. I'm working on it fast as I can. So Necrons will be appearing obviously in the next battle report. There is an Eldar and Tyranid one to upload, so that'll be the next thing to get uploaded. It was played a few weeks ago, so it was probably the last report, actually about 3 weeks ago. That'll get uploaded soon. Just almost finished editing that. So the Necrons will appear after then. Hopefully against a new revamped new Tyranid force, which is Graham's, which I mentioned in the update video. His painting is coming along very nice, so hopefully get two fully painted armies on. Expect to see the Tomb Blades, as I said, just in regards to units wise. The Tomb Blades will be appearing. I had a bit of a test game with them, and they did quite well. They did get attacked by a Hive Tyrant, but that's what happens in 40k. It's you never know what's going to happen. So thanks for watching that little review, just my thoughts on the Necron Codex. Obviously, it's not a full in-depth review. If you want me to do a full in-depth review of every mortal thing, then just leave a comment. No problem. If you have any questions in regards to units or any tactics that you want or that you'd like to share, anything that I'm not aware of, just leave a comment and just check out the channel as well for battle reports involving the Necrons, and stay tuned for future ones with upcoming involvement the Necron force, and check out the other battle reports as well involving. We've got Eldar on there, Space Marines, Tau, and just check it out and stay tuned till next time.